And then there's another Kyle, talking about Kyle Tucker, that people are still kind of wondering about. And, if you're one of these thinkers right here, Brad, you know what I'm talking about right here? One of these, what does it mean? Zach, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Ken Rosenthal was trying to say on Foul Territory, well, wait a minute, Mike Elias, Kyle Tucker, there's a lot more history there. Maybe that's going to be the fit. So let's play that clip on Foul Territory, and we're to react on the other side about Kyle Tucker and the Baltimore Orioles.
Surprise team that you see for Kyle Tucker? Great question. And I'll give you one, and it came up. Will Salmon of The Athletic wrote about it, as did Patrick Mooney. They wrote a combined story about Kyle Tucker, and they listed this surprise team, the Baltimore Orioles. Now, I do not expect the Orioles to sign Kyle Tucker. Let me say that right off the top. But while their bigger needs are starting pitching, top of the rotation starter, number 3 at least, and a bullpen that they need to address and have started to address with the signing of Andrew Kittredge, Tucker would fit as he would fit for any team. And not only that, Mike Elias, when he was with the Houston Astros, and of course he's now the president of baseball operations with the Orioles, Mike Elias drafted Kyle Tucker. And people in baseball are often attached to people that they draft. They kind of never lose that affection and feel for them. And for that reason, I can at least see their interest. I can also see them spending more money than they did even last offseason. So I'm not saying the Orioles are going to be in there deep for Kyle Tucker. I don't know that they will. They have these other priorities. But could they be a team that surfaces? Yeah. Remember, last offseason, they offered Corbin Burns $180 million for 4 years. That was a serious offer. Now, Kyle Tucker is going to be twice that, most likely. I don't know if they want to go there, but it's something that I think we will see them linked to in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're going to hear a lot of teams linked to Kyle Tucker, and I'm sure Baltimore's name is going to be thrown in there, but I am, like Ken just threw in there after, I'm not buying that Kyle Tucker is going to be a Baltimore Oriole for a lot of different reasons. But I do agree that players that get drafted by a front office, if they go somewhere else, you see it in football with coaches and general managers, there's a familiarity, and there's guys that you like, your guys. I'm sure Mike Elias, just like half the league, or I'd say every team in the league, would want Kyle Tucker. I don't think there's one player that would not want Kyle Tucker.
No, but I also think that I like the angle only because the O's do need an outfielder. So it would be not only that you're bringing in Kyle Tucker, but it would also be that you're filling a need that you absolutely need to fill. It's not like they don't need the top end pitching, 100% behind that, but the outfield is still a big giant question mark. So a guy like Kyle Tucker would make a lot more sense other than the fact that he's just Kyle Tucker.
I mean, I agree. I mean, he's a superstar player. When he's healthy, he's going to bang. He's going to make plays. He's going to be an upgrade defensively in the outfield and be an upgrade offensively as a proven bat. But where it's going to get sticky is Kyle's can ultimately choose where he wants to go. He's an East Coast guy. I'm not buying anything. If anyone says Dodgers, sure. Could he go out to LA? Yeah, he could. But if unless his priority is to solely win in LA, there's a lot of other options on the East Coast that are going to offer him a similar opportunity. And as much as everyone wants to crown the Dodgers and say, oh, they're ruining baseball, the Dodgers, last year they were a game away. They were on the brink of elimination against the Padres, and then they were on the brink of elimination twice in the World Series in Toronto, down to 2 outs to be specific in Game 7. So, yes, Kyle Tucker can go to a team anywhere, and they are going to have success with him. Lefty bad in the lineup, Brad. I think is it too many lefties? And personally, I don't care about that. You want to throw in another lefty to the lineup? I don't care if that Gunner's a lefty and Jackson's a lefty and Kowser's a lefty and Basayo's a lefty.
Yeah.
But it is one of the things that you think about. But you know what I love? You ain't platooning Kyle Tucker. If he's on your team, guess what? Kyle Tucker's going to play every damn game that he can.
Don't tempt him.
But I think that's important because Tyler O'Neill, unfortunately, hasn't played a lot of games, and he is a platoon type player. That's what he will be coming back this next year. So that's one angle on the Kyle Tucker situation. Again, if they make that move, though, Zach, I'm looking at the payroll moving forward for them. I see it very hard for them to make another extension with one of the younger guys, because if you sign Kyle Tucker, let's just say it's $400 million, $300 million. It's going to take at least $500 to get Gunnar. Do you put that much money?
That's going to take $500 no matter what.
Right, but then are you okay then saying, okay, Jordan Westberg, all right, or any of the other starters, Trevor Rogers, hey, Kyle Bradish, you're going to need a contract here. We're talking about the needs.
Here's my thing, though. All the guys that you just mentioned have had serious injuries that haven't played an entire season, except for Gunnar.
But point being,
so my point is, their price tags aren't going to be nearly as high because they haven't really been available, and we always talk about their availability is the best ability. So I'm not saying that Jordan Westberg, Kyle Bradish, all these guys aren't valuable. I'm just saying that their value isn't going to be carried with the same weight of a Kyle Tucker because they don't have the same type of resume as a Kyle Tucker.
I think the one thing I'm trying to still get over the whole what the Kyle Bradish debate on being injury prone. I understand the injury he just had. Am I missing another big injury he had in his career in the majors, Zach?
No, I don't think so.
Right? I'm trying to I play
in
with
the
guy.
Majors, at least I don't believe so.
I can't remember any big one.
I didn't say prone.
No. I know, but I'm saying of the guys, for Bradish, for me, he'd be priority. Actually, he would be the priority to lock up.
Outside of Trevor Rogers?
Well, Trevor, you have to make a decision this next year. So you have to lock him up if you believe he's the guy. But I would say locking Rogers and Bradish would be important. The position players are always going to be more expensive. So I think you got to ask yourself, do you want to lock up your pitchers or do you want to lock up a big bat that's going to cost you a lot? And my guess is if you sign Kyle Tucker and he's looking for $40 million a year at the minimum, going to 50, what are you willing to give out to that? And I think that's what's going to be interesting to me is what the year value is going to be for Kyle Tucker.
What's the Tyler O'Neill contract?
3 years, $48 million, something like that. But it was an option. So the last 2 years are picked up.
Which of course he picked up.
I would too.
Well, yeah.
I would, no doubt about it. But Kyle Tucker right now, he's also 28 years old. So, I mean, he's probably looking for, and the team's probably going to give him a 5 to 7 year deal.
I was going to say, yeah.
He's going to get one. I think he gets a ridiculous 8+.
I was going to say 10.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 10 just because of his age, because he's going to want that.
He's in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, someone's going to overpay.